Hello and welcome to today's Abhigyan's Point. The big story, and naturally, anywhere and everywhere it is being debated. When I speak to friends across the world, particularly in US, UK, other countries, everyone wants to look and understand at the fact that if there is going to be a large global rejection of business and trade with China, how far and how intensely does India benefit? Let me tell you a very important story here, that Germany has actually sent a bill of 130 billion pounds to China for damages. So it is not just a story of America putting all the blame on China and putting its share of pressure, but it's also the story of how rest of the world is reacting to China. Now this, as everyone would understand, could turn out to be a huge opportunity for India. India that has a huge unorganized sector, a very high skilled labor available, sectors that have shown in the past how they can boom by themselves, like the IT. I don't want to get into the details of the IT example. But can India grasp this opportunity? Will this be the time post-corona that India can divert the attention of the world primarily in sectors, and I'm being very specific here, on manufacturing towards us? Now, I've been talking to economists. I spoke to Arvind Panigre, and he was telling me, of course, next 20 years, as the last 20 years were of China, the next 20 years clearly could be of India. So it all will then depend on the government, the policies, the way we approach it, of course, new economic thinking, and the real empowerment of manufacturing centers in India to take on China. As we were discussing in this column, it's very, very significant to understand that this is a huge opportunity. All economists are pointing towards that for India. As we understand, there's perception, there is anger against China, which naturally will lead to some kind of a rejection as far as trade is concerned with China. The world would want to put pressure. America's already putting the blame on China, and they would want the world to ally with them as far as America's battle against China is concerned. But I'm talking about India. There's no doubt about the fact that manufacturing is where everybody would want to see the keenness of how India responds in a post-corona situation. Service sector, we've been very good, very strong. Even if you look at the 2008 economic downturn, after that, the way India revived has been extremely significant to see the service sector. But manufacturing has been a weak area. When I say to look at these options, it's also very important to understand that you have to have a conducive environment for it, which means both socially, politically, and economically, not in situations of tension and strife. Will that really work out? And that is where the big challenge, the big test of the government will come. How does it create that environment and actually make sure that manufacturing, also helping it out with money? I've been making my points on the liquidity crunch. I've been speaking to people like Arvind Panigre who feel that the last 20 years belong to China, the next 20 could easily belong to India. But in that retrospective, in that perception, what is very important is to how do we create that environment, that playground for this to be beneficiary as far as India is concerned. And in my opinion, this will be a very big challenge for post-corona crisis as far as this government is concerned. India versus China, how India becomes a better option.